Hello and welcome back. This is the 28th video in the Flow Certified Professional online training series. And in this video, we're going to go through the 4R model. And as you see here in this picture, that's right truth, right values, attitudes, right actions, and right results. And in the middle is the individual's vision or / spirit. The leadership takeaways for this section are how you use this for people problems and how to come to solutions for solving those problems. We're going to show you how the 4 model works, the 4R model, and how we do this, and how we use it in reverse for root cause analysis. Also, I'm going to show you a slight twist on Greek, and for those that actually speak Greek, apologies if this doesn't quite line up with how you use the words. I'm probably coming at this from a much more classic Greek reference point rather than modern Greek, so cut me some slack there if you'd be so kind. Okay, what issues can be addressed or solved using the 4R model? You can look at team member well-being, team member disengagement. Remember, these are the global numbers. US numbers, I've seen 30 to 32% are engaged. I still have a hard time believing those numbers, but it could be true. That could just be, our American culture. Worldwide, it's only 13%. On the disengaged or actively disengaged, it's 87%. And this actively disengaged portion, I think it's somewhere around 20% plus minus. And that means they're actively working against your organization, against your team, and they're sabotaging what you're trying to get done. And so here we have 20% are aggressively disengaged. So when we're looking at these numbers worldwide, that's not very encouraging. And so this is why the 4R model is so extremely important in helping people to shift their mindsets. Okay? And if you're running into issues of lack of individual high performance or lack of trust and safety, you can again use the 4R model as a diagnostic tool, a root cause analysis, which we're going to show you in just a minute. As I mentioned, the 4R model begins with right truth, and you'll notice I use a capital T there, and I do that on purpose. Now, if you've had philosophy courses, you'll understand the difference between a capital T and a small case t. And a lot of people in the world, their truth is subjective. A lot of people, they don't have any religious background, and other people have religious backgrounds. And frankly, for me, while I care what a person believes, it doesn't impact how you manage the team. Okay, it might impact how you work with support and help that person on their journey, but it shouldn't be the like, oh, you've got the wrong truth, bye. And I don't mean it that way, not at all. But these first three, right truth, right values and attitudes, and right actions, those first three are the foundation of every religion, every philosophy on the planet. Everybody claims that they have right truth. Everybody. And so it doesn't matter if you're an atheistic scientist on one end, an agnostic in the middle, or you happen to be a member of some religious organization at the other end. Everybody is declaring that they have the right truth. Now, a way that you can sort of see if they have the right truth in the end is, what are the final results? If the results don't reflect what you would view as a right or good result, then we're going to show you on the next slide how to look at these things in reverse. And right truth also impacts the individual's vision, strategy. Are they the right person in the tasks that they do? And so, vision, the individual's vision, is at the core and is linked to all four of these. Okay. And on top of that, we talk about, you can talk about a person's spirit. When you put a team together, the team isn't just the sum of all those individual spirits. The team spirit is sort of an amplified version of that. It becomes even bigger. So if something's messed up on one individual, in the team setting, it's going to be amplified. And so you need to be aware of that, because we have to be careful about the words we use. And we're going to talk about that as well in a couple slides from now. But let's look at this from the reverse diagnostics perspective. Like I said, if you're not getting the right results, well, look at the actions. And if it wasn't the actions, then look at the values and attitudes underneath. A lot of times you end up with people who, for whatever reason, whatever life has done to them, their attitudes are incredibly poor. And you have to assess, is this person in a point in their journey where I can quickly help them repair that attitude? And typically, the only way you repair values and attitudes is right truth. Think about it this way: if somebody says something naughty or could be construed as sexual harassment in the business place, what's the first thing a company does? They send the person to school. Why? Because they intuitively understand that, oh, that person's truth isn't right. That's not the way you treat people. And so if you have the wrong value and attitude, it's because your truth is wrong. And so and this is why companies spend amazing amounts of money on training, coaching, mentoring. And that's one of my mantras: train, coach, and mentor. Train, coach, and mentor. It's really important to make sure that people are being continuously shaped and formed and helped along the way. We talk about it in American English as taking the rough edges off. It's like when you're trying to create a diamond, and you have to be very careful when you're putting all those facets in there, but in the end, you can have a brilliant gem. And the journey can be long. In one of the FCC sessions that we did recently in the live session, it came out that we were talking about this topic, and one of the people mentioned that, yeah, we had this guy, and it was basically, if you've ever seen Big Bang Theory, it was a perfect description for Sheldon Cooper. No social skills whatsoever. Okay. And so now we would be getting into personality, but by continuously working with this one individual over a couple of decades, they went from being someone you could never put in front of a customer to being the CIO for a major Fortune 500 company. And so this works, but you need to be able to decide, how much are you going to invest in that individual, and do you have the long view? Because that's what the vision is all about. What do you want to be in the future? And so you need to look at it from your own perspective. If you're not getting the right results, I'll bet you 10 to 1 it's either your attitudes or your truth that are messed up, because you're missing something, either in process or in social interactions, or there's a disconnect there that's causing this explosion. Now, back to my Greek friends. Please don't massacre me on this. I'm using classic old Greek. definitions for this. Originally, and it probably still does, logos means words, okay? And the words we use are amazingly powerful. They have creative force. So if you have people either inside or outside your team say, oh, this will never work, you need to immediately speak against those words, because what these other people are uttering is creating a toxic poison that will poison your team. And so I challenge anybody whenever I'm in a consulting situation or working with the teams and coaching the coaches and working with the program managers and engineers and whoever. If I hear somebody saying that, uh, I'll kindly ask them questions and trap them into the corner, because the words that we use, we're taught as a kid, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's not true. Words are incredibly powerful. It's the thoughts and ideas that are translated into speech. That speech has creative power. It has the power to either breathe life into your team or to kill it. The power of life and death is in the tongue. And so you got to be super careful in the team setting the words that you use. If you're using the wrong words, you're going to sabotage everything that you're trying to create, and you will not deliver right results. And this goes hand in hand with right truth. Okay, ethos used to mean the place we live. It's the root word these days for ethics. Okay, now we're talking ethics and morals. Well, your attitudes and values will reflect those ethics and morals. Remember the poster that I shared with you guys where it was nothing but check marks and the person wasn't walking the talk, they were only talking the talk, and all of the executives had violated every one of the values and attitudes? Well, that means your words were worthless. Think about that. Just pause and think about that. If your values and attitudes are violating what the organization is trying to do, in the end, your words are meaningless, really meaningless. So you've got logos meaning words, ethos meaning the place we live, or ethics. Now, pathos. Pathos is the root word that we use these days for passion. Okay? And passion is an emotion, but passion leads to action. And so anything that you have in your mind, that you have as an ethic that you passionately want to fulfill, that to happen, you want that idea to occur, it ends up being a formula. Now, rema is word in action, or almost living word, and it's the result of the first three. So the formula is logos plus ethos plus pathos equals rhema. So the words you're speaking will have an impact. Okay? What you sow, you reap. If you're speaking words of life into your team, you're going to reap life out of that team. If you're speaking words of death into your team, it's going to die. Okay? It's that simple. Even the Eastern religions teach us about karma. Sooner, if you do something bad, you just set off a chain of events, and what goes around comes around. Okay? And so, I don't ascribe to that theory, but it's interesting that it sort of is a variation of the same idea of whatever you plant, that's what you're going to harvest. And so the formula for our model is right truth plus right actions plus right attitudes and values plus right actions equals right results. So just keep that in mind. Any idea that you want to passionately turn into reality, this is how you take things from abstract to concrete. A lot of people struggle. How do I go from abstract to concrete? This is how you do it. Ideas are abstract. This computer that I'm recording on is concrete. The desk that this computer is sitting on is concrete. The chair I'm sitting on is concrete. But all of them began as ideas in people's heads. And so sometimes up here for right truth, I also substitute in right ideas. Okay? Especially when you're in the innovation area and trying to come up with new products, services, and results. So it follows the same pattern for the 4R model: logos, ethos, pathos, and rhema, word in action. So remember the words that you're using in your vision statement, in your strategies, with your people, and in the tasks that you're doing. Every one of them has weight. It has creative weight and power. And I don't think that people always understand that nuance, but when you have that aha moment that, ooh, the words I speak out are powerful. When you understand that, you start to try to go, oh, maybe I need to do a little bit better job with the words that I'm using. Are they helping or are they harming? Are they building people up or are they tearing them down? There's a lot of people out there that are insecure that they're going to use their words to tear people down. That's life. We have to work against that and continually breathe life into our teams, projects, programs, and portfolios through the words that we use. So as a recap, we've talked about how to use the 4R model to work with the people problems and how to solve those, what the 4R model is, the root cause analysis use of that and using it going the other way around. And then the classic tools of Greek rhetoric basically mirror the 4R model. It's not a perfect 1-1 match, but you get the idea. And they're both extremely powerful. So the application of this is think immediately about how you can apply the 4R model starting today with your team members that take the following too far in their daily work. If they take traditional or waterfall too far. If they take lean, Kanban, or theories of constraints too far. If they take change management too far. And for all the Agile purists out there who take Agile and Scrum too far, you need to work with them because it's not an either or, it's a both and. And you need to move people from saying but to saying and. And do you understand how your words can either breathe life into an individual or team or suck the life right out of them or the team? That's something really powerful to think about. And I would challenge you to start to self-correct yourself if you find yourself using the wrong words.